Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. It looks like I am 1938. My opponent is exactly 2000. What do you think? Caro or Sicilian? Haven't played a lot of Sicilian lately. Let's go ahead and do it. Could be a disaster. Who knows? We'll see if they want to go into an open Sicilian. Looks like they do. Fascinating. Haven't had an open Sicilian in 1,000,000 years. So we will go into the Najdorf, which is a 6, and what? This is the terrifying part. They can do anything. Okay, so going into the super sharp variation, if you've seen my streams, we've talked a lot about where does this pawn go, which square, but here we need the pawn to stay on e6 so that this knight can't easily jump in because this knight is being pinned. So we're going to continue holding onto d5. Okay, so that is the book move. Wow, my theory here is really rusty. So the moves I want to make are here, 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 then here, here. So I'm trying to remember the order. I believe I go here first, and then I go here. Let's think about why I'm going here. I'm going here so that after this, or something here. Oh my goodness. Wow. I was like really on top of this theory for about a month. And then I didn't see this variation for a month, and now I'm like totally lost it. Like I had all the reasons down. I was feeling good. I think the point though is I can go here, and eventually I'll be able to do this stuff and go here, and it's guarded by the queen, but I don't remember why I'm supposed to do it now. So let's try to make some actual just good moves. The problem with putting the queen here is then the rook can't directly threaten that knight, which is kind of annoying, but I'm 100% sure I'm supposed to put the queen here. Why? Why? I don't know. I mean, it's a fine developing square anyway. It's where it often goes in the Sicilian, so I'm going to go there. Next move will probably be here, castling. So we're trying to play... Oh, no, I know now. We wanted to stop the bishop from coming here. That's why we did that. Because that puts quite a bit of pressure then on all of this. So now we've prevented that. That is the reason. And then now we can go here, and then after it takes, we could go here if we want. We're not going into the poison pawn, which would have been, if we go here, they offer you this free pawn. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not up for that. And apparently, this move surprises them. I don't know why. It's possible I've completely messed up my theory, and they're trying to figure out what to do. More likely, they were just like, then I go bishop here, and bam. And now they're kind of like, huh. I'm pretty sure here they're supposed to just castle long, and then go here. And then we get this interesting game where I go like here, here, here. Okay, I thought he went here anyway for a brief moment. I was like, what? Okay. That feels odd to me. I think the plan is probably to castle short. I don't know that they're supposed to castle short. I think I want to go here before castling, so if they take, I can take this way. Yeah, I'm going to go here. I really want to see what they're doing. Are they castling short or long? I don't know. It's an interesting question. The nice thing about them putting their bishop here is now this knight can come here and be annoying. Not yet, like especially if they castle long. It's a way for me to gain tempo, maybe on my way forward, or just planting there. Puts more pressure on this pawn after, this and this. Because now anytime I want, I can go here, followed by here, if they push here. The thing that I need to remember, and this has bit me in a bunch of blitz games, is that once I push this pawn, this knight can jump into here. Now my queen is already here, and I think I played, I don't even remember if it was, I don't think it was the bishop g5 line, I think it was a different line, where I pushed that pawn, the b pawn, prematurely, They landed a knight on c6, and it was a complete disaster. This is one of the things you learn, even just by playing blitz games, can improve your opening repertoire, because I just now know that, right? Like, it hit me about 4 times, and the 5th time I was like, I'm going to remember this now, right? Like, you have something happen enough times that it's bad, you remember it. So that is one of the big helpful parts of playing blitz. Okay, so my opponent is very much out of book here, right? They're just kind of like, I don't know what's happening, which is really strange to me, because I'm pretty sure every move I've played is 100% normal and all book. And so it's just kind of shocking to me that a person plays the super sharp bishop g5 line and then doesn't know any theory. But maybe they don't. 2000 Lee chess isn't that high. We're in like the 1700s. It could be that they're really good at some openings and they're really good at playing against the poison pawn, but they're just not used to people not playing the poison pawn. Total possibility. This is one of the funny things I've noticed about chess at my level is there's still so much luck involved, and a lot of times the luck is like, sometimes you walk into someone's master level prep at the 1700 level, and then other times you walk into them having no clue what's happening in a position in their 1700. And so, a 1700 can have such a wide gap in knowledge from one opening to another, whereas the higher you get, of course, there's less of that happening. Everyone seems to know everything at some level, but not yet. Okay, so again, we're just sitting here waiting. The ideas here, if they're castling long, like the big idea, and it wouldn't be yet, is to go like here, here. I'm not entirely sure where we put the bishop. I'm not remembering, but my guess is here. My guess would be something like here, here. Bishop goes here, hitting the queen. They have to resolve that. Then my knight moves. Okay, yeah. So that seems like the sensible move. I think we have to, not have to, but I think castling short is the way to go here. Yeah, I'm going to castle. Okay, real quick. b5 now. It's between b5 and castling. So if we go b5 now, and we just start it. Start the action. If they push here, and I go here, this bishop being here is helpful, right? They could go here. I take, they take, I take, they take. This is being hit. I might not be able to castle, but at least I'm still backing up that. Very torn. I think castling short is right, usually, but the weird placement of this bishop has me thinking, I think I'm going to play b5 first. And we'll see if I regret that. Ooh, something else I just noticed that might be a big problem. Here, here. Okay, they can't go there, right? Because then I would go this way. But here, here. Here takes. They can't take with the queen. They take with the knight. I take with the knight. I go here. Maybe here, here. But eventually they could go there if they want. I don't know. I'm not really sure how this is going to play out. Okay, so they do push the pawn. Not too surprising. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the right move. This is the whole point, or one of the big points of why we play queen c7 and allowed these lines. And now even the g2 pawn is being hit. I'm not sure removing the g2 pawn is that good of an idea anyway. I guess here is where castling first would have been very helpful. If castling first, I have the option of going to here. And now the question is, where is this knight going? I don't really want to go here because I want to be able to push this and send this knight back to an uncomfortable square. Not to just be able to trade here. Well, maybe that's fine. Like if they do something weird like go here and let me just put the knight here maybe that's fine. Though maybe that's not, right? Because then after like takes, this pawn is loose. So I don't know. There's a lot of reasons I'm seeing now why castling first was probably right. I didn't quite understand them until we got to here. Even though I was able to calculate that this was probably what would happen, or both remember and calculate, I wasn't quite realizing this part. Because like they could just go here and we trade down and this is not a problem. But if they just ignore it, then now suddenly it's like, where does the knight go? The nice thing is, if they decide to ignore it, the knight can go here. It's going to be very interesting. I won't get this free tempo, which is quite annoying. I could even ignore it, but then, you know, takes. This check does not look good enough. Yeah, we don't have quite enough there. This is, of course, after like this. So take there. They get two pieces. I get this check. I mean, I could even just go here. And things look very safe, and we're down a piece. We are up a lot of time. My opponent has very much struggled, but I think these struggles are about to turn on me. Not castling, I think, was a problem. Another thing I'm noticing, perhaps the best move is just go here. And now I can't castle. If I castle, then it's mate. Yeah. So I think I really stepped in it. I'm a little surprised it went so badly so quickly. That one little misstep, but that is how the Najdorf can work. So I don't think I'm going to get to castle. I think I'm going to go here, here, and then hope to stay alive. But it's going to be challenging. Yeah, I don't see another move. I mean, I guess I could go here, but I don't really think there's much point. I'll go here and just say, probably I learned a valuable lesson, and, you know, castling is usually right, and it was right there. Okay, so does this matter? Not really, because he's hitting there. Doesn't really change my ordering. I think that I can go here, and if takes here, I get to take because of this pin, which is a little bit interesting. So that's at least annoying. But I don't know. Am I gonna go down in a blaze of glory here now that I didn't castle? Because this is certainly here. If he doesn't take, I'm probably taking and castling. Not right away, of course, because that would be mate. But like, takes here, and then castles. Probably that's what I do. Yeah, that seems right. So now, castling's gone. Something like this seems strong. I don't really know where to put my king with this situation. The nice thing is they can't really take here, because I would go here. And I think that would be a big issue. Maybe there's some sneaky ways to get out, because I might have to drop my king back. Okay. I think I like taking here, seeing that there's this, and there's this, and there's lots of possibilities. If I take here, yeah, this was a bad move. Because now it also lets me go here, it lets me go here. Like, I don't like this move. Yeah, I'm going to take here and say, I think my opponent made another error. I think I made a mistake that should have given them the lead. And my gut tells me they gave it back there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they didn't give it back. They also can't play g3 to protect this pawn because of this. So you're going to have to figure out some other way. Okay. That seems reasonable. But I can pick up this pawn, right? Can't I just go here, check. I can't go here because of the knight. But I could take this way. No, I guess not. I'm being hit a million times. What if I just push and then push? It seems like it might be quite strong. The thing I'm worried about is suddenly this is becoming scarier. But let's see. So we go here. What if they immediately go there? I think I just take here. And it's not the best, but yeah, this seems fine. This is still sort of hanging. Not yet, but like I could see myself going here or both. And then it will be. I think my opponent made 2 moves in a row that have put them in kind of a bad spot now. Like, I think I should be fine now. I think between, like, this, then this rook is completely freed up and not guarding this pawn anymore. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Is that the right move? I think the way to do this is to go here. And then if they go there, I could just move over. The knight would be hanging. I guess the knight can go here now, which is important. In fact, the knight is actually set up to fork me and win the game. So I didn't see that. So maybe they didn't make a mistake. Maybe that was genius. So where do I go? If I go to here, and they go there, they're losing this pawn. What if I just take the pawn now, actually? Take the pawn now, and I think that's fine. Right, so what do I mean by I think that's fine? Let's see. What if they go here and pin? I do have this idea, picking up the knight, actually. And guarding that pawn, and then giving me time to push this. This is covered by this guy. I'm out of the pin of the rook. This looks very strong. This looks like it might be an only move, but it's not super hard to find. So now I've renewed the threat on the knight. I've renewed this check threat. I'm up a pawn now. My king is starting to look mildly safe. Maybe I can just now play h6, swing the rook out, king f8, and actually have a safe king now. Things are getting interesting. And if they play the obvious rook to e1, they lose their knight. So that's tough. Yes. Okay, I had to look also at, well, is there a check here? Right, because if there was, then we would lose our knight if they went this way. I think the move that they're kind of most likely to make is that move. Oh, interesting. Going for the check anyway. Okay. It seems pretty good. I think, well, I don't love trapping this rook back there. I don't think I want to step this way into this whole whatever this is. I do need to be aware also that this is dropping. Sorry, let's say here. This is getting ready to drop. So I need to, like, can they go here, I guess is the question. And I think they can and get their pawn back. But I don't think it's worth trying to go here and then get discover checked. So the choices are between these two squares. This one is guarding this pawn and letting me do this move a little bit easier, which seems reasonable to me. Let's say I go here and they make this move. That is really problematic because now this and this are falling. I guess though I can respond like that. I think I'm okay. Yeah, and if I went here, then I couldn't do that. So this is definitely the best way. Or it feels like the best way. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Okay, so they've gotten their knight out of danger. They're only down a pawn. They can get that pawn back pretty easily. They could just take on b5 if they really want. If they do that, yeah, that doesn't work. I was looking at potentially playing bishop takes a2. What about bishop e4 hitting the knight a second time? I suppose they could just return their bishop to d3 and that wouldn't work. I could also go here, and then if they take this knight, I'm taking here, putting pressure there. It feels like if they really wanted here, they could just go back and guard the knight again. Although then I could go here, and that would win the knight. And there's no check when they move. There's no attacking. So maybe that is the way to go. Maybe the way to go is not that sort of passive approach of, this isn't that passive, but maybe it is simply going here and putting pressure that way. It's been a very interesting game. My opponent is down to 5:15, which is 4 minutes under me. It's a pretty big gap. A lot of that happened in the opening, and it's continued to happen. We're only on move 18. It's almost like they're playing this like a classical game, right? Like really taking their time. It has been pretty sharp, so I understand there's variations to calculate. I'm not as thorough and good of a calculator as others, and that may be why my calculations aren't taking as long. I'm just missing way more things. That is certainly a possibility. That is interesting. Does that just lose the piece? Probably not. Probably if I go here, they can go like here, or just move the queen. I think it's probably right anyway, just to get out of this a bit. Oh, I didn't realize this. They could go there. There's nothing there at the moment, but it's important to know that I've just fully weakened that square. What's nice now, though, is I can go here. And this fully chases this bishop away from backing that up. Okay, so they're just going to get out of there. But does that lose the piece then? No. No, it does not. The rook is now hanging. Boy, this is a messy one. And it's with check, so I can't do something really cute and tricky there. I'm looking at this, but this queen move looks problematic. I'm actually considering going here, which I don't love. If I went here, that's an issue. This is kind of interesting that it comes with check now, and that would let me reroute a piece potentially, but I'm not seeing a way to exploit that, and it costs a piece to do it. This feels like yet another counter blow that's quite strong. Oh, this opponent has been very frustrating. I'm wondering if this is the idea, just back it up. But then I'm stuck behind in that mess, which I don't want to do. Maybe this is the way to go. Then they could go here and threaten that pawn. And I don't love that, but that does let me go here. Alright. Let's get in the mess. And then the idea is hopefully to be able to go here, here, and connect these guys. If I can get that off, I feel like I should be able to survive. Oh, I didn't realize this. There's also this. So that's not in the position yet, right? But it's something lurking that I need to recognize. As Jan Marcos would say, I'm putting it in the freezer. Chess tactics from scratch. I'm kind of seeing this tactical possibility. It's something in the position that we should definitely be looking at. Okay, so what is that doing? That I don't understand. Yeah, I think I want to go here. If I go there, knight goes, let's say the most annoying place. It goes there. Then I go here, threatening that bishop. Knight moves, maybe here. I takes, I go here. I've kind of survived. I also could go here. Yeah, could go here, here. And then there's the other move. So let's look at that. This is the move I want to make. So let's make sure I can make it. If I go there, here, he's 2 on that. So I'm forced to move. I'm still guarding this. Okay, yeah, let's go here. Hopefully this isn't disastrous. It looks scary, but I don't think there's anything there. Oh, in fact, if you were to move here, then I could have just taken there. So that was actually a really good move, other than that. And maybe that's why this would have been good first. Okay, so I can't go the square I want. If I go here, that's fine. You can go here. I can go here. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I can go here. They can put the knight there. I go here. And that's okay, I think. Wow, this is getting scary. Like, this knight being just buried in my area is worrisome. Everything is like, I feel like it's barely holding together, and if I can just go here safely, I should make it out of the woods. But it's very tenuous right now. Like, what I like is like this, and I just take. Or better yet, I just take here. So almost has to be a knight move, right? Here or here. Here, I go there, he goes back, he loses. There, I go here. And now it's kind of questionable what this knight is up to. Perhaps I can go there. I don't know, it seems like I'm okay now. But I keep saying this every time. This opponent takes like 4 minutes and finds an amazing move. This has got to be the most resilient player I've ever played against. Or the game where I've made the most oversights, where every time I'm like, and that's the move, and they're like, no, what about this? I'm like, right. Okay. So what are they doing? I feel like it's 97. This is another one of those, like, why are you calculating for a million years kind of situations. I don't quite understand. Because if he doesn't play, like if he goes here, oh, I think that loses, right? At least that's what I calculated. I go here, and then loses? I don't understand. None of these squares work. So how are they this, perhaps? Maybe that saves the day, once again. Always saving the day. But it's not great. Now things are looking tenuous. Like maybe I can go here. Breaking off that connection. Still can't go there. I guess now that, no, I can't go there. Opponent has left the game. Interesting. That might not mean they've left the game. They might have been having some connection problems all along, and that's the deal. Or maybe they finally not found the only move. But I do think going here temporarily saves the game. I don't know if it saves it enough. Because can I go here, breaking that connection? They can't go there because of the bishop. Oh, and in fact, I'm hitting it twice now. That's even worse. If they try to go like, okay, he's back. Okay, going there. That's another great move, right? Because now it's like the knight is threatening to take here with the rook. This is covered. That's covered. It's like if I go here, I'm still threatening that piece. What if I go here? I'm threatening both pieces. Does that finally end this thing? Queen goes in, all covered. Rook takes, covered. I go here. So what would I rather do? I'm trying to find it. He's got like some bonkers move here. Okay, so I go here. Takes, check, move over. I really want to be that out of play. All right, I'm going to do it. I think, again, I've won it. I think I've won it for the 1000th freaking time. This was a better move, because now you can go here and guard them both. I can go here, though, so I think it's okay. But I think going here stops the queen from coming back. Because now the queen's kind of out of play unless it's specifically going over there. Like if I go here, it's kind of like, okay, my queen's pretty out of play. All their pieces are hunting my king. I feel like there might be something here with like a sack. I don't think that's it though. Yeah, I think this is the best approach. Go here. Now I'm up an entire piece. I'm still on this, which is interesting. The king is looking pretty vulnerable. My queen is still on this piece. What I'm not doing is taking that pawn. That pawn is like a whatever. I'm up a whole piece. I don't need one single pawn from here. I need to hold this together. So that pawn is not on my radar. What is totally on my radar. Okay. I mean, I have to take. Now they have less pieces. Queen can't come in these squares, which is really important. The rook almost assuredly is going there. When he does, can I go here? Is that interesting? I'm kind of close to threatening mate myself. With like a here, this as mate. It's not quite mate, but I could maybe lure that rook away. So if I go here, queen, it does cut the queen off, my queen off from covering this square, but I think that's okay. Oh, we can go there. Okay, wait, let's see. So I go here, here, here. Queen still can't do anything useful. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm actually just trying to threaten a mate now. I didn't look at this. I don't think that works. This doesn't work. And obviously, this is the position, so that's a problem for them. And if they try to go here, I think there I go here. And then I think they're dead. Because if they trade, then they're just down a whole rook. Okay, so I go here. Ah, now they can. No, they can't go there because now this guy. But then this. But then this. Complicated. I guess the bigger question is, if I go here, is there a check I'm missing? There. Nothing with the queen. This check is there, but I will take. Yeah, I think this works quite well. There might be other moves that work, but I think this is a good one. This puts a lot of pressure on them. I guess what I didn't look at is something like that. And maybe that doesn't work very well. Maybe that's an issue. Because I can't take here. I let them bring their... Ooh, I didn't see that check. That loses for me. That loses the game, doesn't it? That... Maybe, actually. It's actually still mate. It's still checkmate. So I can move over. They do not have a check. And they can't take or it's mate. So I'm still threatening to win their piece. My guess is... Oh, they can't go here because then it would win the piece. So they are in big trouble. It looked like mate for them for just a second. But luckily I've been eyeing this checkmate for so long that I didn't panic. And I could be like, nope, that doesn't work. I am annoyed with myself that I missed that check. That was a very bad idea. Okay, so that's a good move by them. But that is mate because I take and then it's mate, right? Unless I'm missing something. I don't think there's any more chances. Take and then that's mate with the rook. Woo! Wow, that was something. That was a game. It was only 30 moves, but it felt like 100 moves of really back and forth. So let's first start by just looking at the openings database. Did I play this wrong or right? Because my opponent was reacting in such a way that made me think maybe I was doing it wrong. Okay, so e6 is the number one move. f4 is the number one move. Queen b6 is the number one move, but that's a whole different opening. This is the poison pawn variation where I decided I didn't want to do that. So this is the number one move if you're not doing that. That's the top engine move. Not engine move, database move. And then this is indeed book. And then this is the book move, which I knew. And then now it is totally fine to go here before castling. They start rumbling. We start going. And it's like this, this, this. And now all the theory is coming back to me. Here, here, here. And we get this. Okay, so that I knew. But this is the second most common move. And let's see what the engine says. I'm sure the engine's going to say it's totally fine. Yep. And this is where openings become really hard, right? So they made a different move that is totally fine. I made the number one book move because it's a totally reasonable move that I knew I wanted to make. And now is the moment of truth. Do we castle? Do we play b5? Do we perhaps play h6? The number one database move here is actually h6. And then after h4, g5 or b5. But number two is b5, which was my move. Which is funny because I decided during the game that I must have made a mistake. And the number one engine move here is b5. Castles is very down on the list, saying you need to get your attack going. And that's what I thought. I thought I had remembered. You got to get that attack going quickly. And I think this is a mistake. I think bishop b7 is the answer. Okay, it's not a mistake. It's fine. That is a mistake. Like a giant mistake. So did I play that right? What they're supposed to do, apparently, or the number one engine move, is to take here. Takes where? Takes the queen. Okay. Wow. Takes queen. Takes here. This is a wild line where black is clearly doing better. So basically, this move doesn't work. For this reason. They went here, and that is not a great move. I went here, which I thought was kind of a cool idea. That loses the game. That goes into this line that I was looking at that seemed not great. I didn't see this part. Pinning this guy. And now if I try to come down, it just all kind of goes sideways for me. And they get to come in here. And the computer just says they're up 3.7. Now, I don't know. My king is kind of in jeopardy. My pawns look bad. I would agree that white is winning there. What I should have done here was to play d takes e5. And then if they take back, then I get to go here. I have actually won a pawn. And now I'm guarding the bishop. So light year is better. I think the reason I didn't see that, I don't know. Why didn't I see that? I don't know. But yeah, so this is just way better. Black is clearly well ahead. I missed what feels like a pretty basic idea. I'm really struggling now looking at like what exactly did I miss? Was this a thing of like I had already been thinking of ideas like that, and so that's why I was kind of immediately going there and just taking it? Is it the idea of like, I don't know, it just felt, I don't know, maybe like after this I think I was looking at this And I didn't like this as much. Yeah, I think this... But looking at it now that it's on the board, it looks very strong, right? Like, I'm attacking this twice already. It's an isolated pawn. I can still castle. I could still just bring a knight over to help. Like, this looks like it's completely fine. Okay, so I didn't do that. I went down this road, which is not wonderful. And that is a bad move. Okay. I thought they should check and start messing with me earlier. And that would give white a slight lead. So this move lets me do things. I thought it let me do this, which I thought was genius. The computer says what it actually lets me do is the check that I wanted to do. Wait, what? I found that check, I thought. So I found here that if they didn't move this pawn, I had this check winning the knight. Then they do move the pawn. Huh? What's the difference there? Why? How? I'm baffled right now. How did I not? How did I miss this? Also, what is happening with my thing? Okay, it's reconnecting. How did I miss that? That is quite staggering to me. All right, I'm trying to get it to reconnect now. It won't put that move in. Was there something I saw in the game that made me think I couldn't do that? Okay, what was this move? It was to go here, which I had seen. And I saw all that, and I don't know. I don't know what happened there. So what did I do? Okay, I think maybe I must have not seen again that it won the knight. I must have somehow convinced myself it didn't win the knight anymore. I don't understand. But I did think this was a genius move. And then they went there, and I was like, oh, right. And then they went there, and I was like, oh, right. Like, now things are getting really bad. This was a big mistake. Like, I think we can see this doesn't do anything. Because let's say they went here, and I took. Well, then they're just going here anyway, and it doesn't work. It's the engine says it's okay, like it's not lost or something, but it's not like it's a big fear. So they didn't have to do that. So this feels very wasteful. What the computer wants them to do instead, having a lot of disconnection problems, is to go knight or bishop e2. I was looking at ideas like taking. I thought that was quite strong, actually. Oops. So, like, here's the move I was looking at. And that seems very strong. Right now, it's kind of like, oh boy, how are we going to handle this? I think my plan was to go like this. And then, I mean, they're just crushing me at this point. I kept missing these, like, around the bend kind of moves. But yeah, so this is horrible. That's what they should have done. They just took one move to kind of clean stuff up, and it really opened the door for me. Again, I thought I made a great move. I did not. G6 would have been a good move here, but I wanted to go here first because it's so strong, and it's not that strong. They have like a million ways to handle it. And now we're basically even again according to the engine. Go here. They got this nice check. And this loses for the reason we saw. Bam. Now what? Did make a nice move with that. But this, once more, is the best move. And then if they do all this taking, now all I have to do is hold on. There's way fewer pieces, and things are fine. And this actually is the best move. But only if you see that it doesn't lose the queen. I got very lucky that it did not lose the queen. I sort of had everything lined up. And then this, of course, lost the game because of wham, wham, wham. Boom. Boom. Wow. What a weird game. So I do want to go back to the opening. And I thought after this and this that I had realized I messed up. And remember the reason was because I was like, I don't have a good place to retreat this guy. I would have liked to have been able to go there. And that was the mistake, is thinking I had to retreat and I couldn't just go takes. takes, and then go here, or there first, which I think is why I did. I went here first. Is that actually worse? No, good, because I thought that was the right way to do it. And then what did he do? He went there. Right. And instead of taking, I did indeed run into lots of troubles. But all I had to do was go takes, here, win a pawn, win the game. So fascinating how I made the right move, but then freaked out by my opponent's move and thought I didn't make the right move, which then compounded in me making a terrible move. So that's kind of fascinating. And then really just missing opponent's best moves. And this is the thing that I really struggle with, right? Like, this was in the position. I knew this was in the position. I had identified this was in the position. But instead I found an awesome move that did not take into account my opponent's best move and how strong it would be. Because I kind of even saw that, and I was like, that's fine. I'll go here, and I'll be good. Like, my pawns are looking nice. My king is safe. And you know what? If this move wasn't there, it might be a good move. But that's a problem that loses on the spot. So, big takeaways are, A, just continuing to work on finding my opponent's best moves and not be satisfied with finding a move that looks good and really spending most of my time refuting my own moves instead of applauding myself. And then second, openings are hard, right? Like, I need to be able to, I guess it's not openings, it's getting that idea in my head and then not being able to get it out. And what I mean is this. Like, not being able to, like, I was so obsessed with this knight, where's it going, that I'm not sure I even calculated, like, this just basic, like, takes, I'm up a pawn. Like, this isn't even a tactic. This is just being able to account attackers and defenders properly. That is, like, we're talking, like, I don't know, my daughter's play, right? Like, this is like 500 level or lower. Like, my daughter doesn't make these mistakes. And so it's very challenging for me to be like, what caused that, and trying to reap these things out. But it's funny, in the end I won, but here I am talking about all the mistakes I made. So we're on our way. It looks like we're going to be back to about 1950. Hopefully it will continue going up and away. See you next time.